Welcome back, and if you're new here, my name's Michael Evans, and today we're going to talk about how I shot this running video, how I planned the shot list, what programs I used, and what equipment I actually used versus what I brought, because there's a little bit of difference in that, and maybe I can help you choose the right equipment for the right job. Now, this is my first time doing anything like this. I really had no idea what I was doing. I just over-planned and tried to do as much as I possibly could. So I'm sure there's a lot of learnings that you can learn from this, from me doing this. And also I did get a lot of learnings myself from actually doing this. First, I want to say that this video and this content that I made was not sponsored at all. This is completely spec commercial shoot that I just wanted to do. I reached out to one of my friends and they said that they would want to be a part of it. I asked them if they wanted to split the cost of a pair of shoes to help me make this, and luckily they said yes. I honestly didn't even need a new pair of shoes for this video. We could have used a pair that she already owned, but I wanted to do a story about having a newer pair of shoes, so that's kind of what I went with. And I'm just lucky enough to have this track at a college nearby that is completely open to the public, so we were able to use that as our stage, basically. So let me just say something that I really overlooked when making this video, and that was getting the BTS video and content so I could show you the behind the scenes of everything that I did. But I was really focused on trying to get all the content that I could, and it kind of fell to the back burner basically, and I wasn't able to get any BTS. I was just trying to get all the content, make sure I got all the shots that I did, and we actually went over time than what I really thought that we were going to be able to do. So I don't have any BTS of this, but I want to talk you through how I got the shots I did and all the equipment that I use and my thought processes. Now that we have all of that out of the way, let's start with the shot list and my storyboarding. I use my Apple Notes and my phone to plan out all the shot lists, and then I wrote down how I wanted the story to go after that, and if I wanted the shot to be wide, medium, or tight. And then I moved over to Milanote. I figured I'd give Milanote a try. I don't have a paid account for it, so you can only use up to 100 little tiles in their system, but that was enough for me to create my entire shot list, flesh out my story a little bit more, and to make sure that I was being able to tell my story throughout all of my shots. I was originally going to sketch out my shots, but after watching some videos, I just thought I would pull some screenshots. Once I got my shot list and story down in Milanote, I wanted to find images that would fit the narrative of my story. So I started watching videos on YouTube of other people who created running videos, spec ads, and all sorts of stuff like that. I pulled some shots from 5 different creators that I found on YouTube, but like I said, I already had my story originally before I went to go look at these videos. I'm not recreating the wheel here. Nothing I shot is a brand new shot that has just been invented. So I wanted to try to find out what other people were doing and figure out in my mind how they would get that shot, so I would be able to get similar shots that would tell the story that I wrote. As I was putting all of my frames together, my story did change a little bit. It didn't get longer though, it got actually shorter. So just watching other people tell their stories through video on YouTube and stuff like that, I was able to kind of extrapolate what was meaningful and what wasn't, and I actually cut a couple of shots from my shot list and my story. It was originally, I believe, 26 shots, and I culled it down to about 21, I think it is now. So that is kind of what happened, the knowledge that I gained from just watching a few other people create content that was similar to what I wanted to do. We're going to move over to Milanote, and I'm going to show you how I planned out all of this, my shot sequencing and all of that. So let's head over to the computer. So this is my full Milanote board. As you can see, I am using the free version, so you can do this as well. Now we can go into the shot list and how that came out. So let's zoom in over here. On my shot list, I wrote an actual story that I was going to use, but I didn't actually put that in the video. I was going to call the video Run Your Own Race. So that is in here as well. Like I said, some of the things did change from when I was actually shooting, when I went to go to edit and all of that. So this is how it started out and what I used to create that video. So my shot list starts off with walking on the track, shot from behind, then looking on the track, walking with the gimbal, opening the bag. We didn't actually use a gym bag, so that shot didn't get put in. Putting on the shoes, lacing up, walking on the track, shooting a flyover the track, some warm-up drills, which was in there. Walking to the starting line, shaking out legs, stuff like that. Something that a runner would do. Walking up to the starting line, like I said, squat at the line with a serious look, deep breath, getting through the start sequences, and then all of that, and then how I wanted the running shots to be. So I went through that, shot wide, shot tight, running with the gimbal, squatting down, exhausted, let the logo fades in, and I also wanted to get some extra shots with like bleachers, which this track didn't really have any bleachers, but it's something that I wanted in the shot. And then also some drone shots of the track, which I did end up getting, as you can see in the snippet of the video that I showed. And now we can start with my actual shot list of snippets that I've got from other videos that showed the story that I wanted to tell. Walking to the track, all of that, and showing all those shots, how I wanted the shoes to be shot right here. And then like after you put the shoes on, walking on the track, showing a fly over the track, warming up, all sorts of stuff like that. And going through those start sequences, showing how that looks when she starts, and a close up of the shoes, and then getting through those running sequences. So I wanted to definitely get through those. I did end up using a gimbal for almost all of my running shots, which I think came out pretty good. If I were to do it again, I would want some shots that were handheld, because I feel like it would create a little bit more emotion with the video. But like I said, this is the learning process, and this is where we're at. So getting through all those running shots and kneeling down and saying okay one more time, and then kind of doing that again, and having the logo reveal after she runs past it, which is what I set out to do, and I got that as well. Here are some of the extra shots I thought that would be cool, but like I said, there were no bleachers on this track, so I didn't really get any shots of that sort of stuff. So that is kind of how I had everything looking in Milanote. If I can zoom out to 100% here, that'd be great. And over here, other photos that I wanted to try to mimic for product photography for the shoes. I wanted to get some shoes in hands on the track and stuff like that. I thought that would look really cool. So we didn't actually get to do all of this because we ran over time on doing all the filming. So this kind of fell to the wayside. But hopefully next time I will be able to structure it in a way to where I can get these extra shots that I wanted to do. So learn from my mistakes and plan out, I guess, a little bit more. I think that just doing this for the first time, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm just trying to make the best out of the shots that I had. So moving forward, I think I will try to get the photography first and then do the activity or whatever I'm doing second. So let's get on to how I pack my bag. Let's talk about what I packed in my bag and what bag I actually used to bring everything. And boy, oh boy, was it just too much. I thought that I knew what I was going to need and how I was going to do everything and all the shots that I was going to get and all the equipment that I was going to use to do that, but it was just a little over ambitious, but I didn't know what I didn't know. Like I said, it's my first time doing this, so I think I got a lot of learnings from that. So let's get into what I brought. All right, first I want to have the bag all opened up. This is what that looks like. I have it kind of prepped. First I want to add my camera. This is the A7R Mark II, sorry, A7R Mark V with the 50 millimeter 1.2. So that is my favorite camera to use for photography. This is 61 megapixels, it's fantastic. Next I want to add in I have a rig that I wanted to possibly bring, so I have the rig already set up, so I just add this in here. I wanted to put a 99 watt battery in there with that and bring an extra lens, which I did not use at all. It's kind of crazy. This is my 70-200 f4. I wanted to bring some extra batteries for the monitor that I wanted to bring. Here's the monitor. So the monitor goes here. Put these extra batteries here, or in here might be better. Here's a grip that goes onto my rig, so I can add that in there as well. I wanted to bring an extra handle just in case I didn't want to use the one that has the mic that is on my camera that I'm shooting with right now, which is the FX30 with the top handle. So if I didn't want to use that top handle, I could use this. This would have worked really well. I didn't actually end up using that. I just used the top handle and ran with that on my gimbal. Here's my gimbal here. This is the Ronin SC2. This is pretty old, but it works super well with the equipment that I have. So there's no real reason to upgrade if it's working, right? So that, and the FX30 went here, and I have a 20 millimeter f1.8 that went right here. Top handle goes in here, and I have filters in case I wanted to change my filters, which I did. So this came in actually handy. That went on top of here. I brought in some extra filters. I thought I was going to shoot some behind the scenes with my phone case. This case is from Moment. Focus, there we go. This case is from Moment. It has a filter attachment, which is really cool, so I can actually add on the attachment right there, and then this is locked in. So that's really cool, and it actually has a variable ND on the side from 2 to 7. So if I was going to shoot any videos with my phone, which I didn't get to, like I said, this would have been fantastic. Get through this kind of quickly so I don't take up too much time. But so I brought my phone. I have all my cables from my D-Tap to charge my battery to charge my camera. HDMI cable here, and this is the power of the camera. This is the power of the monitor, sorry. This is the power of the camera. So that one in here. And gotta have memory cards and extra batteries. That stuff went up in this area right here. And I brought in my my DJI Action 5 Pro, which is great as well. So this was really cool to use as well. So that just sat on top of my lens. So I close all this up. I put my iPad back here. So I have an iPad Pro, which I'm using to monitor my shot right now, but it's right here. So that fit into here. This is basically for a laptop, so that's why I use it for my iPad. On the front, it has pockets and everything, and I disassembled this and fit it into here. So this comes apart, and I can take this handle off, and I just fit it in here, close that up, and this was basically the bag that had everything that I needed. I also brought my bag for my gimbal, so I just came with 2 bags, a couple of water bottles. I'm using the DJI Mini 3 Pro,
believe that's what this one is. So this gimbal's great. I got the Fly More combo, so it comes with the really cool handheld controller, which is really neat. So that and the extra batteries for that as well. So that's pretty much everything I brought with me. So like I said, all my running shots were with this gimbal. I didn't really do any handheld shots. Only one shot ended up being handheld. But everything else running was with this.
I think that this is the best way to go about trying to make any kind of content, is to not set out to copy someone specifically, but to make your own story and then find those resources from other people, because you're most likely, like I said, not recreating the wheel. You are not starting something that is groundbreaking and all new. You are doing something that has been done before, and if it has been done before, it's good to see how other people have done it and how you can do it, maybe improve on it, or just put your own personal spin on it with your own personality and all of that. So that is kind of what I set out to do with this video, and I think it came out pretty well, especially for my first type of video doing this. But let me know what you guys think.
I don't want to miss you. I wanted to.
First, it's me being me. I gotta do some product photography of the shoes themselves, so let me show you how that turned out.
But what you waiting for?
As a product photographer, I couldn't resist doing this. So this is everything I used and I took with me to make my running spec ad. All the equipment that I brought and I didn't use and everything that I did use. Mainly it was just the FX30 with the top handle, the audio top handle, but I didn't even use any audio, so I could have used the other top handle that might have been a better fit, but I ended up just using this one. And I used that gimbal for almost all of my shots, except for the last two shots I did handheld and I stabilized that in post. I hope that you learned a lot from this and that you took away some nuggets of knowledge from learning from my mistakes and maybe bringing too much gear or being a little over ambitious. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Please like and subscribe, as it helps the channel a ton, and I'll see you later. Peace.